Hi guys, my name is Mansi. I'm the founder of Troovy. We're one of the fastest growing brands making healthy food for children. I'm an IIM Bangalore alumnus, ex-Bain and Company, and I'm a mom, and really excited to be here and speak to these lovely set of young entrepreneurs. At any point, if you guys have a question, you can pass it to me on a sheet of paper or something. I'm happy to ask that. Otherwise, I'm sure these guys can talk for hours about their startup. So there's a full packed agenda. I'll start by letting each of them introduce themselves and their startups, and one thing that you think makes your startup extremely successful, right? Just that one thing, secret formula. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Abdus, founder of Sam and Marshall Eyewear. We have been in the eyewear business from past 5 years. Started the company in 2019, and one thing which differentiates us from the rest of the crowd is we have a unique proposition in terms of quality, in terms of design, and in terms of the pricing as well. So that is what is differentiating us.
Hi everyone, I'm Garima. I'm one of the founders of Fraganote. We are a premium fragrance brand, and we are basically trying to bridge the gap between designer fragrances and mass fragrances in India. What sets us apart is that we try to offer the same experience that you would get, say, with a niche designer fragrance at an accessible price. We've made it affordable for everyone. The fragrances are of the most premium quality. From the bottle to the cap to the atomizer, everything is at par with any designer brand. And our aim is that everyone in India should smell good, and should not burn a hole in their pockets. Marketing has helped us a lot because our ads do not have one guy being chased by 3 women the moment he sprays on a perfume. Our perfumes are very easy to decode. The names of the perfumes are simple. Vanilla wood, for example, is our bestseller. So the moment you see an ad, you know that the perfume will smell like vanilla and wood. So we went back to the basics, keep it simple, silly, and that worked for us.
Hi guys, I'm Malvika. I'm the founder of Sereko. So Sereko is India's first psychodermatology brand. Psychodermatology is psychology plus dermatology. It's the science that studies the connection between the skin and the mind. So you can call us like category creators in a very cluttered category. And this is what kind of sets us apart. And given that we're at the cusp of 2 very, I think, emerging ecosystems, which is mental health and skincare, that's what kind of works in our advantage. And we're able to leverage that into our marketing, into our communication, and also kind of, help consumers understand the concept. So we've developed proprietary formulations, psychodermatology formulas, with the help of leading scientists from across the globe that have an impact on both your mental health as well as on your skin. So they're all clinically proven to reduce your stress, improve your mood, and have a really good impact on your skin's biome.
Hi everyone, I am Mayank, founder of the Honest Home Company, a sustainable brand in home and kitchen, and our secret sauce is distribution, pricing, and affordability.
Everything.
Just everything.
Okay, great. I'll just quickly add is this working? Yeah, I'll just quickly add Troovy's secret sauce as well. I'll just quickly add Troovy's secret sauce as well. So I think for us, what works really well is customer centricity. We are all about our customers. We have deep conversations with our customers on almost a daily basis, and that's been something that's allowed us to innovate. We have one of the most innovative products in healthy food, not only healthy food for children. And yeah, I think that's what helps us get the marketing on point. That's what I think everything sort of flows back from there. And yeah, it's the most important secret sauce that keeps us going. Great. So you want to add something?
No, I want to say that you didn't give your introduction, huh? Troovy.
Yeah, I gave my introduction. Yeah. Yeah. So for those of you who missed it, I lead Troovy. We're one of the fastest growing brands making healthy food for children. Yeah? Amazing. So, everybody here is super tired, right? You can see that in their faces. So I think they don't want to hear all this gyan, kafi ho gaya, right? So tell me some fun stuff, right? Tell me either about the most horrible investor meeting you had? You don't have to name the people. Please don't name the people. And, or tell me about that one employee who you were really, keen to hire and they kicked you and rejected you and didn't join because you're a, young startup.
Both of the things have never happened with me, to be very honest. I've always, it's clear? Yeah. So never had so many meetings with investors. Whenever had, they were really sweet. And the second point of the employee wala thing, no, everyone joined hands with me and we worked.
Your life is so simple. I want your life.
So we actually had a very awkward investor meeting once. This was our second round with the same venture capital group, and they had basically put in their second round of panelists to evaluate our performance. And it was a virtual meeting because they're not based out of Delhi. So, we had sort of prepped a couple of months with our numbers, MIS, etc. Second round, we were excited. Our elevator pitch was ready. And within 1 minute and 45 seconds, we saw one of the guys snoring in the virtual meeting. And he started snoring, and then somebody sort of made some sound from his team to wake him up. Somebody rang his phone, and it was evident while we were doing our 2 minutes and 40 seconds elevator pitch. So obviously I knew then that this is not going to float. So yeah, we went on, but that was awkward because we didn't know, should I wake him up or should I say that, should we change our pitch? So yeah, that was awkward.
Yeah, don't want to be in that pitch.
Yeah, so I've had this experience with one person that I was interviewing, and at the end, during the interview, I asked him all sorts of questions and everything, and then towards the end of the interview, he asked me, "Are you all funded?" I said, "No, we're bootstrapped." He said, "Then why did you waste my time?" And I'm like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, bootstrap. I don't want to join a bootstrap brand, and it has to be a funded brand." So we here, it is difficult. Hiring is difficult. But yeah, thank our stars. So this was right before, right after I launched, or pre-launch phase perhaps. And then 1 year later, he comes back. Seeing the brand has been there. He's been
You
around.
actually hired him?
No, I've not hired
Okay,
him.
thank
I said,
God.
I
Yeah.
don't have confidence in you now. I'm still bootstrapped only because now you see the brand doing what it's doing. You want to come back. So, but hiring, you get all sorts of candidates. You meet all sorts of people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. What about you, Mayank?
मेरा तो एक्चुअली मैं पूरे ऑफलाइन के बैकग्राउंड से था, कभी ऑनलाइन मीटिंग्स मैंने कभी पहले की नहीं थी, और पहला मेरा एक लिंक्डइन के थ्रू एक इन्वेस्टर कॉल सेट हुआ, उसने मुझे जूम मीटिंग का लिंक दिया। स्टार्टिंग के 10 मिनट तक तो मैं जूम पे ज्वाइन ही नहीं कर पाया, फिर मैंने उसको सीधे फ़ोन करके बोला, भाई मेरे से नहीं होगा, मेरे से ऑफलाइन बता कहाँ पे मिलने आना है। फिर मैं उससे मिलने गया और बाद में डील भी हुई।
That's good. That's good. My way or the highway. Amazing. Amazing. I think for me, like the most awkward investor meeting was in early stages of our last fundraise round. We had reached out to this very big VC, and they were very enthusiastic. They set up a meeting, and we got ready, we went. Even before we could get started, in the meeting, like the first sentence was, "Oh, we don't believe in this space at all." And I was like, dude, I drove like an hour long, for an hour to get here. And then it was, if that was it, it would have been great. I would have come back at least, salvage the rest of my day. Then we actually had a 45-minute meeting where they sat us down and told us why they don't believe in the space. Maybe they were trying to be helpful, credit where it's due, but yeah, it wasn't helpful. It wasn't helpful at all, yeah. Thankfully, we closed after that, and I love VCs, and especially the VCs that we have on board are amazing, amazing, amazing people. But yeah, that one meeting has stuck with me. I don't think I can ever forget it. Oh, I'm supposed to ask more questions. Okay, so, since the topic of the session is around innovation, and a lot of you actually mentioned that in your introduction as well. I want to understand two things, right? One is that innovation is really hard to do in the initial stages because it's not cheap, it takes time. you almost have to sell to your vendors to innovate for you, and also vendors are set in their ways, right? So you have to sort of push them to innovate and be like, nahi, nahi, ye ho sakta hai, nahi, nahi, right? So want to hear a little bit about that, how you navigated that, especially the investment that comes from building an innovative product. And also, how do you think about your moat, right? I mean, you've actually spent all this time innovating, educating customers, I'm sure, right? So how do you think about protecting that innovation moat from Me Too players who are bound to come in?
Okay, so I'll take this one. So about protecting the innovation, I think one is that I come from a legal background. I was a practicing litigation lawyer in Delhi for 5 years before I ventured into this. So yes, protecting innovation is very important from a legal standpoint also. So we filed patents, we've got everything trademarked, like our IP is airtight. That is very important when you're innovating something. Like, your complete IP protection, your legal frameworks, your contracts, everything have to be in place because nothing is non-copyable, right? So it's very easy to duplicate anything in the world, I feel. So that's one way to protect your innovation. And the other is you become synonymous with that innovation. Like whatever you're innovating, whatever you're creating the category for Sereko, I'll say my agenda, my vision is, my moat is to become synonymous with psychodermatology, because psychodermatology is a buzzing trend globally. It is on the beauty trends and in Mintel and Nielsen and all 2024 reports. So it is going to come to India very, very soon. And by the time consumers start realizing that this is the it trend, we want Sereko to become synonymous with that innovation, with psychodermatology. So that's one also, that's another way of protecting your innovation through word of mouth. Like if consumers know you by that trend, then no matter how many other people follow suit, you'll still be the creators of that category. So that is one. And of course, it takes a lot of time, effort, energy, money. Like nothing can be compared to how much bandwidth it takes to create something. So I spent almost 2 years just trying to get the formulas right, the right team, and also, of course, there's a cost involved. So you have to be very mindful that you're not this is not all happening post-launch where you also have a steady stream of revenue. There's no revenue, so this is all pre-ops. And of course, but that, I mean, at the cost of what? What is your confidence in the innovation? You also need to get that, I think, that endorsement from the right key opinion leaders who say that, I mean, get that confidence that it's going to work. Or you have that kind of framework, that kind of plan, that kind of roadmap where you're going to make it work, because you need to ultimately, I mean, that innovation needs to give you returns. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a challenging process, but definitely worthwhile.
I think I absolutely resonate with your point of being synonymous with the subcategory, right? That probably is the only moat you can build, especially in FMCG. It's funny that you said that part around knowing the feasibility, because for us, that was not true at all. We spent 2 years innovating our first product, and till 1 month before the launch, we didn't know it was actually feasible, right? And that was excruciating, right? Because you actually put so much money, you actually put so much time, you don't know if you'll be able to ever launch it.
Absolutely. No, completely agree with that point that, sometimes you have a vision that, okay, this is going to be my TG, this is how I'm going to, communicate, and this is how my content is going to be consumed. But that's not always it. You might be trying to sell a product for something, but consumers may be buying it for something else. So yeah, I completely get, you're innovating it from one mindset, you're communicating from one mindset, you're setting your TG from your own perspective, but your TG might actually be different, their perception might actually be different. Yeah.
Anyone wants to add something?
But in FMCG, प्रोडक्ट पैरिटी बहुत आसानी से हो जाती है. आज आपने कोई नया प्रोडक्ट, कुछ भी इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किया, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द ओनली FMCG. आपने कोई भी नया प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में निकाला, कल को उसके जैसे 4 प्रोडक्ट और बनने ही बनने हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आयुर्वेदा में बाबा रामदेव ने आके अपना ब्रांड इस्टेब्लिश किया, तो उसके बाद ही जब यूनिलीवर आया या और भी बड़े बड़े ब्रांड आके उन लोगों ने अपने आयुर्वेदा से रिलेटेड प्रोडक्ट बनाए, तभी जाके बड़ी एक मार्केट बनी. तो जितनी ज़्यादा ज़रूरत इनोवेशन की है, उसके साथ साथ उस सेम फील्ड में उतने ज़्यादा ज़रूरत उतने ही ब्रांड्स की भी है. तो मेरे हिसाब से अगर सिर्फ इनोवेशन मोट नहीं हो सकता है, इनोवेशन के साथ साथ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन भी मोट होना ही पड़ेगा, तभी आप लॉन्ग टर्म में सक्सेसफुल हो सकते हैं.
Absolutely agree. And I think to some extent that relates to the point that she was saying ki it's not just important to innovate, but you have to become synonymous, right? You'll only become synonymous when you've spoken enough about it, when you've distributed it enough, and before the Me Too's can come in, right?
Distribution is, I think, essentially visibility. More than anything else, is the purpose that it solves is visibility. And that is what will lead to the synonymous, being synonymous also.
Okay, great. You want to add something, Abdus?
I was just saying one thing that to all the people, key innovation is not just to be happen in the product wala thing. What I feel like product में होना चाहिए बहुत अच्छी बात है. Good for Sereko. They are doing they are creating a new category. Good for them. They should do it. But people who are already into a category, ठीक है, and they're playing between the spaces, ठीक है, उसमें ना मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि innovation इंटरनली भी इनोवेशन होना चाहिए, एज इन इंटरनल टीम्स के अंदर इनोवेशन होना चाहिए. गेटिंग थिंग्स डन शुड बी इनोवेटेड एंड फिर एफिशिएंट एंड इफेक्टिव और ज़्यादा होता है. सो दैट इज़ ऑल्सो सम काइंड ऑफ इनोवेशन. सो इट्स जस्ट नॉट द प्रोडक्ट, it can be all kind of innovations. That's what.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
I actually agree with him that innovation is great actually if you have that kind of a product like Sereko does, that you can create a new category. But even for a product like mine, like there are so many perfume brands in this country. Every apparel brand has a perfume category. There are big players, there are small players, and everybody wants a little bit of that pie. What we've actually been able to do in terms of innovation is innovate our marketing. We just made it very simple. One of our products, perfumes, which is targeted at a Gen Z sort of TG, it's called Candy Babe. It smells exactly like candy. And all the visuals have sour punk candy or candy in it. So they know that we're looking at it and we're buying it. This is also innovation to make it simpler, innovate your marketing, keep the messaging and communication very, very easy because, we are consuming so much content these days. Sometimes you don't even register what is being thrown at you. On Instagram, there's an ad almost every 5 seconds. So innovation can be much more than just product. It could be distribution, it could be internal, it could be marketing as well.
I have something to add here that, absolutely agree with this, that, I feel the innovation is actually only in the innovator's head. To the consumer, that innovation is only communicated through good marketing, good distribution, and good everything else. Everything else put together is when the consumer is going to be like, oh yeah, this is innovative.
Yeah.
Until then, it's only in the innovator's head that I've created something of value.
100%. So you guys have been talking a lot about marketing. On that note, I want to understand two things. One is, what are some of the marketing hacks that have worked for you guys in these early stages to get good ROI on your marketing investment, right? In terms of awareness, especially, I would say. I'm sure you have your performance down tack, but I want to know about visibility, right? And I think the other thing is, what is the one marketing campaign that is your breakout campaign, right? What did it do right? Would love to know that.
I'll take this one. For us, actually, it was a Christmas campaign which was called Santa's Baby. And basically, Christmas is not so widely celebrated in India as it is, say, outside, right? It is like their Diwali. So we associate Christmas with gift giving, but they associate it with a lot more, right? There's traditions, there's rituals, there's a lot more. So we had actually done Art of Gifting campaign, which was on Christmas. And it was the only time we did a campaign where we didn't give a discount. Because every time our conflict internally was that, why are we always offering a discount in the name of a campaign? Right? So yeah, so it was more like story theme, storytelling kind of theme. And it was all over. We got messages from investors. We just had a Santa Claus sort of taking out perfumes from his Santa's hat and giving it to a teenager, to an adult, to an older person, and all the fragrances that we've sort of targeted at different age groups. That was our breakout campaign because it was a simple story. You buy this and you gift it, nothing else. And that's actually when we realized that simpler marketing is more effective than actually making it more complicated with influencers, with celebrities, with some faces that are known. You just keep it simple, communicate the message, and it works.
And what was the channel, Meta?
Sorry?
What was the main channel for this?
It was Meta, and we also cascaded it via WhatsApp, email, so it was a more cohesive, sort of comprehensive communication that went out to all the channels online that we do it, but it was only online. And it really, made a space for us in the fragrance industry.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, so there's one thing that I've observed from my brand, and I also kind of see probably perhaps what it seems like is working for other brands, like even Fraganote for that matter, that I think founder-led ads do really well. And the reason, I mean, earlier initially I never understood that why would they want me to talk? But then because they don't know me. I mean, I'm not some influencer or some celebrity that people don't know me, but we see the highest conversions on the ads where I'm talking about the product. Because I think it's still the kind of conviction, the kind of explanation that I can give for my product, it cannot be matched with any model, influencer or celebrity that you pay, and it builds credibility. I think especially for an innovative product, the consumer wants to know from the builder of the product, what is it, why is it? So I think that's been the highest performing campaign for us. And to add to the point of influencers and celebrities, I feel like exactly to concur with what she was saying, that it's moving to a more simple kind of an approach. Now people are also, more than the quality of shoot, the quality of the shoot, it's more on the messaging of the ad. More than the quality of the ad, it's on the messaging of the ad. So if the communication is right, and if it's kind of nudging you in the right places, then you might see a conversion. It doesn't necessarily have to come from a celebrity or an influencer.
So this is just an ad of you sitting and talking.
Sorry?
This is an ad of you sitting and talking.
Yeah, it's an ad of me like talking about my product or talking about psychodermatology. So we see a lot of curiosity, engagement on that ad, a lot of people coming back to the page, following us, so all of that.
Amazing. Okay. Anyone else wants to share?
Totally agree with Malvika. But we've never run ads, founder-based ads, but we have made few unboxing videos, me unboxing my products and all of that. Organically, we've gotten like good attraction, good
Makes
ones.
sense.
We've never run ads, but it's very good.
What about branding hacks? Anything that's worked for you guys in terms of good awareness ROI?
In terms of Sam & Marshall, I'll say keep it simple. Luxury is always silent. And secondly, be consistent. The synergy should match across the channels. There should be price parities across the channels. And then you can build a brand. And be consistent with what you are and what you stand for. There will be a lot of people, बहुत ज़्यादा ज्ञान वाले लोग आएंगे, बताएंगे कि ये कर लो सर, ये कर लो, जो आप कर रहे हो आपने वो ही करना है, क्योंकि that has, वो जो ज्ञान वाले लोग आए वो तभी आए ना क्योंकि आप वहाँ तक आए. तो keep on continuing with that, with a little bit of innovation, you will reach.
Okay, on that note, which is very close to my heart, and I can already see that Garima is laughing, especially for the women entrepreneurs. Tell me about the people who give you gyan. Tell me about the vendors. Tell me about the manufacturers. Tell me about anyone you ever meet who gives you gyan.
All the men. All the male vendors have given me
Guys,
gyans.
mansplaining is real. Please, all the men out
Mansplaining
here.
is real.
Mansplaining is real.
My
Yes.
first ever
is.
meeting with a perfumer in India was with a guy, with a co-founder who was male. And we explained to him that we want a small portfolio. It'll have 3 perfume for women. He just said, what? Women don't buy perfumes online. We don't sell any perfumes for women. That's what he said. And he looked at the other co-founder, Arjun, and he said, she's just going to waste your money. Just make perfumes for men. And today I can tell you proudly that 40% of our perfume sale come from one SKU, which is for women. So I actually went back to him and I told him, I said, look, don't do this. Don't give the wrong gyan to people. So men will always explain things to women entrepreneurs.
I mean, to be fair, it could be women as well. Just
yeah.
keeping it unbiased.
Yeah,
Yes,
keeping
okay.
it unbiased with no offense to all the male founders on the panel, but
It's
it
not
happens.
about, it's not about offense or something. What I feel like is she's right at her part, but what I feel like कि जो जितने भी vendors हैं वो हैं ही male.
That's why mansplaining.
That's
huh?
why mansplaining.
Exactly, है ना, एक बार आप किसी को रख के देखो औरों को.
Haan, sure, maybe there'll be this woman vendor who gives me gyan one day on how to run my business. Okay, do you have some
No, I
experience
mean,
to share?
no specific, I think, incident that I'd like to point out because it's just happening every day. So I don't know which one to pick. It's equally bad. But no, it's really happening a lot. I mean, yeah, a lot of people chipkao their gyan where they're like, this is how you should do it, this is how you should run a business. I'm like, do your job, man.
Great. I mean, just to be clear, these women are not close to feedback, including
Oh, no,
myself.
yeah, we are
Yeah,
open to
but
feedback.
feedback is different, and Gyan is different. You know when you know. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Moving on to the next question. Tell me a little bit about hiring. How tough is that? I mean, we heard one instance from you. What are the sort of methods that have worked for you for hiring? Abdus has no problem. People come to him whenever he wants, whoever he wants, he hires. Don't look at him.
I've always hired according to my appetite. I think Mayank will tell better. He has a big workforce.
Yeah.
मैं लास्ट 1 साल से बेंगलोर ऑफलाइन करना चाह रहा हूँ और मैंने अपना करियर के 11 साल ऑफलाइन में नौकरी की है, बट मैंने की है नॉर्थ और ईस्ट में। मैं नॉर्थ में भी अपनी टीम बना चुका हूँ और ईस्ट में भी मेरे पास टीम है पूरी ऑफलाइन के लिए, और मैं साउथ में 1 साल से कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि मैं टीम बिल्ड करूँ, बट मैं अभी तक नहीं कर पाया हूँ। अभी तक मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ। पहला एम्प्लॉय भी मैं अभी तक वहाँ हायर नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ। तो क्योंकि सबसे ऑफलाइन टीम में सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी चीज़ है भरोसे की, ट्रस्ट की, क्योंकि वहाँ पे पैसा आपका इन्वॉल्व है। ऑनलाइन मार्केट प्लेसेस या किसी भी क्विक कॉमर्स से आपका जो भी नेगोशिएशन हो गया वो एक बार हो गया, उसके बाद अगर आपका 45 डेज़ पे पेमेंट आना है तो वो आ जाएगा। बट जब आप ऑफलाइन में जाते हैं तो वहाँ पे स्टॉक के साथ साथ पैसा भी उतना ही इन्वॉल्व होता है, तो पैसा आएगा नहीं आएगा उसकी कोई गारंटी नहीं है। तो हायरिंग इतना ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है और पेनफुल है अगर आपको किसी भी ऑफलाइन में नए सिटीज़ में जाना है या कोई नया चैनल स्टार्ट करना है। कोई हैक नहीं है इस चीज़ का कि ये इतनी आसानी से हो जाएगा।
अब फेल फास्ट वाली बात है। आप बुलाओ लोगों को, नहीं आते समझ, प्रोबेशन पीरियड पे निकालो, दोबारा बुलाओ बात।
Hiring and firing, I mean, that's what I hear happens in the startup ecosystem.
Yeah, I think for younger companies like us, sometimes people come in with a certain mindset. They think that, they are doing you a service by joining you, which is,
Right,
yeah.
absolutely.
This happens a lot with us that they say, but you are 2 years old and I have 5 years of experience. I said, but I have collective 15 years of experience. My company is 2 years old. So this is the problem that we face, with a younger organization, that you have to sometimes convince them to join, and that's a big challenge.
One thing that's worked for me personally has been that, so the first 4 people that I hired before the launch of my brand, I launched with a team of 4. So those are the only 4 people who are consistent till date. Otherwise, it's always been like a roster of employees for me. So, and those people I hired actually for their personality and passion more than skill. And I really, truly believe that that goes a long way. I mean, which is why I think it's very commonly said that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And the reason is that your company culture will be built on your employees' integrity, on their ethics, values, dedication, passion, all of that, their grit. That's not something that you can put a number on. So you should definitely prioritize, according to me, in my experience, that over the skill or the number of years of experience. That can still be kind of a little bit negotiable. But this is something that you should kind of keep an eye at.
Yeah, I feel same is true for us. In early days, we got a lot of good generalists. But now, after the last fundraise, we started hiring specialists as well. But yeah, I mean, those young generalists are what carried us through the early days, for sure. I have a question it's getting really serious. Let's bring a fun question. Oh, okay. What is it with founders going to gym and working on their health? Is that like you think, prerequisite of being a founder that you should be hitting the gym? This question is for you, Abdus.
Before becoming a founder or something like that, I wanted to represent India in Olympics weightlifting. So I've been that kind of, and school time pe also I've been playing basketball a lot, and all of the games on the zonal level, interzonal level, state level. For me specifically, it works if I am not going to the gym 1 week. So my brand manager Anushka, if I am not in a good mood when I come to the office, she says, "Aaj gym nahi gaya aap." So that happens with me. If I am going to the gym, then I'm okay. Mentally also and physically also. Mayank bhai.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, for me also, just like Abdus, I think I've been working out for the last more than a decade now. But so it's not because I started a brand, so I started thinking of fitness. But no, I feel I get the question. I feel it's that when you're a founder of a D2C brand, especially, discipline just it's a mandate. A disciplined lifestyle becomes a mandate for you to have a sustainable brand. You cannot not be disciplined and still have a good brand. You have to be disciplined. And then, workout also kind of you integrate that abhi sab kuch kar rahe hain, ye bhi kar hi lete hain, aisa.
I feel like your performance is linked to the performance of your brand, right?
Absolutely,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I'll add one thing, Malvika mein, कि you'll have all the resources to do party all night and all of that, but you can't.
Yeah.
You'll have to be
Yeah,
consistent.
yeah.
You'll have to be
Correct.
consistent. You'll have to be consistent.
Yeah, responsible bunch of people here. Okay,
Not by choice, yeah.
for high AOV people, right, which is both of you, how do you increase frequency of purchase? How do you get the repeats?
This is for you.
Don't say you're not high AOV. Talk to a grocery startup sitting here.
We are high AOVs, but the frequency, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि naturally it increases. But in high AOVs, you have to show some patience. उसके अंदर patience दिखाना पड़ेगा for sure, because high AOV, let's say someone X person buys a product from you today and it's for around 2,500 or 3,000 rupees. So you can't expect him to come back 3 महीने बाद या 4 महीने बाद and again buy the same product or something more expensive. So you'll have to show patience थोड़ा सा. So patience counts for like 70%.
So what is your repeat cycle like? How many months?
Months, we 9 months, because we are into the eyewear sector. So उसके अंदर we are doing prescription glasses also. So people get bored अपनी चश्मों से within 6 months or 7 months.
Got
So
it.
after 9 months they come.
And do they typically buy one or two when they're buying?
If they're buying the prescription one, they're buying one. But what happens is if जैसे Mayank bhai is wearing the glasses पूरे time, right? So he must be needing a sunglass also, prescription sunglass also.
Sure.
Right? So he will buy two, one sunglass and one eyeglass. That's what. So 75% is patience, and rest. The positioning of the brand and how you are showing the same person. You should not ping him a lot. That's what my belief is. Don't just ping. Don't do that. Don't show that you are desperate. If you are a high AOV person, if you are not, then please ping, destroy their life, whatever you want to do. But if you're a high AOV, don't do that. Aram se, patience is the key. That's what I feel.
Got it. What about you, Garima?
In our experience, although we are priced, one perfume bottle is $12.99 after the operating price. Mostly people end up buying 2 or 3. But in our experience, what has worked is that because India is such a value-seeking customer, they want that when they've paid more than at least 1,000 rupees for a perfume, they want exceptional customer service. They want to be asked, did you like the product? Did you have any problems? The day you've given them a good customer service experience, they are loyal. They will, every time we've had a good customer service experience, that customer has been buying every 3 months as a repeat cycle because we sell 50 ml perfumes. They come back. Yes, like Abdus said, cross-selling, upselling is also very important. If you add a bit of loyalty rewards to it, it works. That's the charm where it sits. But really exceptional service where they know that they are being looked after because they've paid a little more premium for this product. They know that the brand cares about you, the brand is consistent, they're probably keeping you updated with their new product launches, they're giving you a special discount, via WhatsApp, email, subscriptions, etc. I think this has mostly worked for us, but it's 80% exceptional customer service. They want to be treated like, they're being looked after well, yeah.
Which they are. Customers are always right.
So Mansi, I have a question for you. For you and Mayank bhai.
Yeah.
Yes.
आपका AOV is very
ये moderator
less.
change हो गया क्या?
AOV आपका less है. आप दोनों का, if I'm not wrong. and then so you need economies of scale, if I'm not wrong, right? आपको बहुत ज़्यादा माल बेचना पड़ेगा to get to the
Volume
AOVs
economies.
वाला thing. Volume वाला game है. So how do you play that volume वाला game?
See, I think at least हमारे case में, because we're selling healthy food, right? Food in itself, I mean, there's an inbuilt repeat there, right? मतलब वो consumable है, खत्म हो जाएगा जल्दी से, right? So it's just about making sure that the customer service and the product is right. वो अपने आप ही inbuilt है, like it's inbuilt in the economics of the product itself, and especially बच्चों के लिए, right? Like if the kid likes something, there's no way in hell you can buy something else for them again, right? So I think it's just about having the product right and the customer service, and the repeats sort of happen themselves.
Sticking helps, in short. Sticking helps.
Sticking helps, absolutely. मतलब आपका अगर आप खाना बना रहे हो कितना भी healthy है और अगर tasty नहीं है तो मतलब you can forget about it, right? मतलब you don't have a business, right? You have a leaky bucket of customers. But what about you? I mean, you also doing offline, so you know that should be interesting.
अगर आपका PMF सॉल्व हो गया, आपका प्रोडक्ट मार्केट फिट को लोगों ने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, तो फिर दो ही चीज़ें बचती हैं, अवेलेबिलिटी और विजिबिलिटी. वो दोनों हैं तो फिर धंधा होगा बस.
हाँ मतलब एक ही बार खुश करना है कस्टमर को.
That's all.
Amazing. Anybody else wants to ask questions? No? Okay. How do you guys build trust with customers? You spoke about founder video, which was great. What about you, Abdus? I'm curious because, you know, I feel like sunglasses is a category जहाँ पे you get products for I would say 50 rupees also, and you get products for lakhs of rupees as well, right? So how do you build the trust that, you know, this is the product to buy at this price point?
Now I'll add her point ki she said after sales wala thing, that's super duper important in building the trust. And Malvika wala point bhi ki the brand videos, although I have not done much of them, or just 2 of them, but it adds trust to that. And you'll have to be present all the time. You can't, let's say for example, agar aap, let's say you run ads on Meta, for example, ठीक है, or you're doing broadcasts on WhatsApp or emails and all, you'll have to keep on doing that. You can't just think one day कि आज ना ROS नहीं आया, बंद कर देते हैं. You can't do that, मेरे हिसाब से. You'll have to be there, चाहे थोड़ा कम हो, कोई बात नहीं, but you'll have to be there so that people should know कि हाँ, they are there. And that also, this is a very layman wala thing what I'm telling you, but this actually works. This has worked for us a lot.
I think also your imagery is, I feel, very differentiated. Your imagery is very differentiated, I feel. Like the models and the photography. I think that definitely signals trust as well.
I agree. I think, you know, when we were, for example, when I was growing up, most of the brands were Dove, Ponds, okay? If we take like body care category, you just knew that you can't know the person behind this brand because it's owned by a Unilever, okay, or a Tata Group. But now, because there is social media, there is Instagram, people want to feel the human touch with the brand. They want to know who are the people behind it because we can communicate with them via very simple means. Earlier it was magazines, you look at a face, what do you know about them, right?
So how do you do that? How do you get out there?
For us, for me, which is also my marketing team's doing, is that we do a lot of founder videos, and I normally talk about my product, how we formulated it, why we've made it, where you can use that perfume, how to increase its effectiveness, etc. So it's like when the customer is hearing it from the founder, they are, you know, we've got comments, we've got messages that I bought it because the founder was talking about it. Even if they have a grief with the product, they will say that, oh, we bought it from the founder's ad, but you know, this did not happen like that.
Yeah, there's message of customer service saying, this product didn't work for me, Garima, you better be solving this.
Yeah, they do that, but you know, I've also realized that the moment you address it immediately, they sort of calm down, and then you can take it further and you can address their problems.
I feel they also interact with you more personally, like they have a relationship. They'll be like, you know, I wanted to give you this feedback so it can be better.
Bang on.
Or, you know, I wanted to call you and let you know I loved it. Right?
Yeah, actually, my social media team actually once was very disheartened when they wrote like a big letter to Garima, you know, because she was on. So I actually told them that, you know, you should feel good that they are actually feeling that there's a connection with the brand.
Yeah.
So then you address it and you figure out what the problem is and you sort it out for them. But this is a very big part today, at least, of branding. But branding is changing very fast right now.
मेरे हिसाब से भरोसा जीतने में थोड़ा समय तो लगता है। अगर आपको मार्केट में ब्रांड के प्रति अपना ये ट्रस्ट बनाना है तो आप अगर पहुंच गए तो आपको वहाँ लगातार बने रहना पड़ेगा। क्विक कॉमर्स के लिए भी बिग बास्केट सबसे पहले आया था लगभग, बट आज 6% का ही मार्केट शेयर है अगर मैं क्विक कॉमर्स डिलीवरी की बात में करूँ तो ऐसा नहीं कि एज ए कस्टमर मैं आज भी बिग बास्केट से ऑर्डर करता हूँ तो मेरा ब्रांड के ऊपर भरोसा नहीं है, भरोसा है मेरा उसके ऊपर आज भी, बट वो सर्विसेज इम्पैक्ट हुई हैं जिसकी वजह से आज लोगों ने दूसरे ऐप पे जाना स्टार्ट किया है। तो भरोसा आपने जीत भी लिया, बट फिर भी आपको मार्केट में बने रहने के लिए कंसिस्टेंट होना पड़ेगा।
Okay. Consistency, founder. Yeah.
And one more thing na, to adding Garima ka point है कि the customer support वाला point, make sure your customer support should not look like that it's a bot talking.
Robotic.
Yeah.
It should not be like that. It should be very, it should have the human element. और भर भर के human element होना चाहिए, मुझे ऐसा लगता है. If he wants to talk in Hindi, he should not press a button for saying आप किस भाषा में नहीं. If he says Hindi, say Hindi ना.
Yeah.
वो वैसे
Agree. And you have to give them autonomy as well. They should be able to take decisions on the spot. Agree. Great. So 4 minute 40 second बचे हैं. Anything that you guys want to say before we go from here?
I would like to say one last thing that we discussed so many topics right now, है ना? And there is no plan as such कि आप ये करोगे and you will just reach. और अगर कोई आपको दे भी देगा road map, still you won't reach. You will have to add खुद का एक एलिमेंट उसके अंदर, मुझे ऐसा लगता है. एंड एट द एंड ऑफ द डे कंसिस्टेंसी, परसिस्टेंस एंड हार्ड वर्क अकाउंट्स फॉर 80, 85, 90%. बाकी सारी चीज़ें जार्गन्स हैं. 10% करोगे वो हो ही जाती हैं. आप मेहनत करो, परसिस्टेंट रहो, कंसिस्टेंट रहो, दैट्स इट, नथिंग एल्स. यू नीड नथिंग एल्स.
I agree with them 100%. I think determination, grit, consistency, launch and fail, don't be afraid of failure is the only motto. Yeah, launch fast, fail fast, figure out where your failures are and work on them quickly. On top of that, I also think that like for us, at least now that we're scaling up, you know, we earlier had a team of 10, now we have 25 and we are 2 years into our journey. I feel that in this day, it's good to be also a compassionate leader with your team. You should not always be, you know, the kind of leadership that we've seen earlier where you're always trying to find faults in the team and the employees, but rather like build them up, support them, work with them compassionately, understand their problems, and have a more transparent company culture ultimately affects your business and profitability and their performance. This is something I feel very few people do, and in my career I've had you know, the privilege of working with some compassionate leaders, and today they are IPO organizations, and I think determination, etc. is good for yourself, but for building your team, your organization, you need to be a compassionate leader also today. So all of this works as a team and you achieve results.
Of course, I definitely concur with this point that you know, you cannot discount being compassionate with your team, especially when you're working. I think one is that there's so much awareness about mental health amongst the Gen Zs, and Gen Zs are who we are hiring.
Yeah.
And they're very sensitive to how they're spoken to, how they're, you know, if they're at fault, then you have to take the carrot and stick approach. It cannot only be stick. So definitely I think that's one thing. Another point I'd like to add in my concluding remarks is I think I'd like to add a little bit about customer experience, which is that I think we're competing against giants like Amazon, now actually not Amazon, Blinkit and Zepto and Instamart today, which have spoiled the consumer behavior for impatience. You know, they need everything now. They will not pre-plan it. So, and the mechanism, even the Zomato and all, the mechanism to return is so easy. You just raise a request and you get a refund, you get a replacement, you get a return. So in overall, so customers are pampered. I mean, we are pampered customers on these platforms. So you have to give them, you have to match that experience if you want to convert your customer on your website. Otherwise, they'll go to the marketplaces to buy. Especially in my category where it's a mandate, it's a thumb rule to be present on Nykaa, Myntra, Amazon, Purple, Flipkart. I mean, we're all across. And the aspiration for any brand is to have a higher conversion going forward from your website than marketplaces. Even right now for us, our marketplaces are major contributors. And I get it why, because there's more trust there on those marketplaces, and is like convenience. It's definitely more convenient. So you need to build that convenience, you need to pamper your customer, and yes, of course, customer is king, so treat them like that.
एग्री सारी बातें तो बोल ही दी हैं नहीं ठीक है
Great. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your patience. And I just want to add that, young entrepreneurs are my favorite people in the whole world. Like myself, favorite person in the whole world. It's because, they're living this super exciting life. You're like this hero of your own story. And, you're building something you've always wanted. You have people investing in you for, doing what you love. But at the same time, obviously, there's a lot of doubts that might creep in, challenges that come every day. So I feel like it's the life of a professional athlete, right? I always compare an early stage entrepreneur, maybe late stage as well, to a professional athlete. And they're the best people in the world because they are very, very real. And so if, you guys are going to talk to these guys as they exit the stage, let's keep it real. Yeah? Thank you. Yeah, time's up. I don't know. Can we take a question? Priyanka? Yeah, okay. Apparently we can.
So, sorry, I heard 4 minutes, 40 seconds, I was ready for a question.
Sure.
So a quick one. Historically, there was a time when people were throwing in ads on TV to establish credibility. Then came in a time to show ads on Bollywood and cricket. Since the last 14 years, ads on IPL. Then came in the influencer era, now founders era, where people want to know founders talking. Do you foresee what will be the future? When I say influencer, I've covered UGC also. But do you foresee any other trend coming in? Because it's changing quite rapidly. And you all seem like very passionate
Are you
about your own
hinting
brand.
at an employee's era, maybe?
I don't know, I'm asking. I'm curious.
I mean, I haven't given this any thought. For me, still grasping with this UGC era and founders era, to be honest, this is still very new for me. But yeah, I do think the democratization of information is happening, right? And so it's not just about the founder. It's going to be increasingly about the teams they represent, about the vendors they represent, about the manufacturers they represent. Nothing is going to be a black box anymore. A company is no longer a black box, right? It's a set of people.
Yeah, I think
प्रोडक्ट का era आएगा प्रोडक्ट का
I agree with him 100%.
also I feel now transparency is on a trend. Transparency in terms of a lot of BTS. How is it actually made? I want to see, like the consumer is going to ask you, ye bana kaise? What was happening in the factory when it was getting made? I want to see that. Put that on the packaging, put that, like the mandate that you have on Amazon, where you put one product video in your carousel, that product video will be replaced by, I think, behind the scenes in the manufacturing unit. So probably that.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, everyone.